you gotta just go get it. You just gotta get up every single day. Don't make excuses for yourself. If you're constantly waiting for everything to happen, paralysis by analysis, then shit's gonna pass you by. This shit's not just gonna do itself. What's up, y'all? I am back. This is Cody, your host of the Fill the Gap podcast. This is episode number 3. And I say I'm back because it's been like a month. It's been like a month because, here come the excuses. Right when I launched this deal, I went ahead and decided that I was gonna buy a house and move. So, packed up all my stuff. That was a process. Finding a home, buying a home, selling my last was like a 7-day process, really like a 10-day process. Shout out to my realtor Kat and friend. But right after that, moved in here and got surgery. So I had a hernia, got surgery on that 21 days ago, December 1st, 20 days ago. And today is a special day because today is the first day that I had like a legit workout. Say hernia recovery is like, my doctor said like 4 to 6 weeks or something before I can start lifting like heavy. So definitely wasn't a heavy leg day, but I got to get in there and move my body, which was nice. So one of the things that I want to focus on doing is getting the podcast studio set up and getting more of these Fill the Gap podcasts out. Whether people are tuning in or waiting for them every single week or not, it's important that I stay consistent with this. I know that podcasting and just doing this in general is huge for me because I take a lot of things I've learned and ideas that I've kind of discussed over the years, put them online. So with that being said, this video is not sponsored by anybody, but I wanted to shout out Cuts. Cuts is a company that I've partnered with over the last couple of years, I want to say, as an ambassador. And right before I went and got surgery, we discussed a potential actual partnership, as we'll call it a partner, Cuts partner versus like a Cuts athlete or something, because y'all know I'm washed up. But I'm officially a Cuts partner, one of 3. And they've laced me with so much of the best fitting clothes that you can imagine for men. One of this hoodie right here is from their anniversary, 5-year anniversary edition. But just want to give a huge shout out to them. Creating content like this, you guys supporting me by purchasing their products, using my code, it goes a long way. A lot of people don't realize that. Is that like, is it going to put a roof over your head? I don't know, shit, for a lot of people maybe. But using our codes and stuff as sponsored athletes with any of the companies that I'm with, whether that be ON, 10,000 Cuts, it goes a long way into, maybe it's just not even the dollar amount that we get paid out for it, but deepening our relationships with these brands and allowing us to, like I just said, forge stronger relationships with them, do cooler things that we can bring to you guys. So now that I'm a Cuts partner, I'm going to be able to create a lot more content like this, a lot more long form content for YouTube. YouTube's something that we really want to hit on. So I'm excited about it. I thought I'd just let y'all know about that. But getting into my mindset, my mentality over the last month since I've had my hernia. Actually, we can even date back to when I first got injured. The big thing about me is that ever since I've been like freshman in high school, I've probably not missed a week of working out in some capacity since then. So what's that, like 16 years, something like that? I'm 30, so you do the math. And so that's been a constant in my life. That's been something that's always just been there. It's definitely a form of therapy, if you will, honing in and creating a stronger mind, body, soul, the whole deal. When you get hurt, and this is something that I've dealt with in athletics, this is something that I've dealt with just in life for the first time, I guess you'd say. But definitely when you get hurt and you can't do what makes you feel whole or what makes you feel right on a day-to-day basis, it takes a lot away from you. And for the last 3 weeks, I haven't been able to work out. And for the last 4 months, I haven't been able to work out the way that I wanted to. So with men specifically, a lot of our confidence is, we'll say, unreasonably tied to what we can do physically or how we look or testosterone levels, however the hell you want to spin it. And I would say over the last 4 to 5 months, I've felt like not necessarily less of a man, but less confident in the person that I am. So, why does any of this matter? Why does any of this make sense? There's so much that I learned about myself through times in my life when I was injured. I've suffered a neck injury in college that sidelined me for better part of my sophomore season. And when I say sidelined, I really just mean that it made me play worse because I was in a ton of pain all the time, getting multiple stingers every single day. But I played through it. That's a topic for another podcast. But when you're stripped of something that you want to be able to do because of an injury, as an athlete, that is more mental than physical 10 times out of 10. 90% of injuries you can bounce back from with the proper rehabilitation, training regimen, the whole deal, rest, recovery, the whole deal. But mentally, some people never bounce back. I would go as far to say that I never fully bounced back from my neck injury because the position that I played required you to be extremely physical. And I was always a little apprehensive, a little tedious to get my head back in there, especially when it comes to people running knees, the whole deal. The point I'm trying to make is, in the parallel to real life, if you will, not to say that sports aren't real life, is that it is absolutely crucial that after you've been quote unquote injured, hurt, fucked up, for lack of a better term, in whatever you're doing in life, that you take the proper time to heal, recover from that trauma or injury, whether that be physical, emotional, mental. Because if you don't, you're never going to be the full version of you that you think that you could be again. And as we bring that into today, this is something that I'm kind of dealing with now. I mean, it has taken a toll on me mentally more than physically the last month or so, even more than that, obviously. Because physically, I'm not so naive to think that all right, I can lose body fat, build muscle again. It's probably as weak as I've been in a decade. But I can do all of that, right? But mentally, waking up every single day, especially somebody like myself that is so regimen. I have a strict regimen and schedule that I adhere to. Somebody like that I had a major part of my day just flipped upside down, meaning I couldn't wake up, do my workout, get my day going. That's what really gave me the confidence to get through my day and get working hard. I didn't have that. And I started to think oh shit, this is affecting me so much. How am I gonna, I don't want to say get through the fucking day because it's not that serious, but I just didn't feel like I had that edge on me, mentally, physically, the whole deal. And then I started to think, especially in the last couple of years, that everybody just being stuck in their house, gym being shut down. A lot of people got their physical thing taken away, stopped working out. And then I started thinking about how I was going crazy not being able to work out for 3 weeks. And for a lot of people that I interact with on a daily basis, that I interact or see on social media or wherever, going 3 weeks without a workout is the norm. There's a lot of people who they haven't worked out in months. And I don't mean this, obviously, when you're speaking of being physically fit, I mean, there's no argument against it. Work out more, live a healthier lifestyle, you will be a healthier person, at least physically. And mentally, I would assume as well too. But the mental toll that it takes on you to just be inactive at all times, and not continue to push yourself physically and with your health and wellness, it fucks with your brain a ton. And so I'm thinking around, like, there are so many people out there who aren't even a fraction of as good of a person as they could be, brothers they could be, husband they could be, employer as they could be. So many people that bury themselves in work and let their physical fitness and health and wellness go by the wayside. And they're just not as good of an employee as they could be. And that's just as it is, right? There's so many people over the last couple of years that haven't left their house because they're so afraid of whatever. And they think that they're just sleeping in, kind of doing work from home. I was like, you guys kind of suck. And it is what it is. You could be a lot better is basically what I'm trying to say. And that's just the truth. And I'm somebody who has never experienced that before. So now being on both sides of this whole deal, I won't call myself what's the fit to fat to fit guy. But I've spent weeks without working out now and weeks working out. And I'm telling you 10 times out of 10, I feel much better putting myself through these strenuous and hard workouts. And I just urge you guys that if you haven't dialed in or at least focused and made an attempt to be consistent with your physical fitness as it relates to your mental health, then you aren't really trying. A lot of people like to post little memes and shit on social media and repost on stories about mental health and why it matters and shit like that. But they're not really doing everything as comprehensively as they could if they're not focusing on their physical fitness and health as well. So that was my spiel on that. And then now the big thing is talking about how, I mean, someone like me, I've been chomping at the bit to get back into the gym, right? There are people who have taken weeks, months, shit, maybe even years off from the gym. And there is a massive mental and physical hurdle that needs to be jumped. As I bring this back to, as it relates to football, I had a coach that, old school dude, and when we reviewed film, he would call people and count the amount of times that they adjusted their face mask in the middle of a play. So, call them face mask adjusters. And the reason why this was a big thing to him was that you'd be in the middle of a play, you'd be chasing down the running back, you'd shock the lineman, your helmet would turn sideways, you could hardly see out of your fucking face mask, and sometimes you innately would reach up, adjust your face mask as you were running or before you started running after the running back so you could go tackle him, meaning that you gave the running back an extra step on you, right? Coach liked the guys who went in, shocked and separated with the lineman, helmet all fucked up, but continued to run, tackled the running back, got up, fixed their helmet. Face mask adjusters. Face mask adjusters are people who need everything to be perfect for them to act. And this has always stuck with me because as old school as that is, has a lot of parallels to today's world, as well as just to being an adult and definitely running a business and definitely just being an active member of society. If you're sitting around and you're waiting for everything to be perfect before you can act on it, you're going to get passed up, you're going to get scored on, you're going to get chosen, not chosen, and shit's going to keep on moving and you're not going to be there, to reap the rewards and benefits of being somebody who takes action. So my big message for today is, and how it parallels to my life, it's funny how these things just always just come up. I don't ever have topics necessarily, but I was just sitting here thinking today and I was like, shit, man, I need to do another podcast because not being a face mask adjuster is something that I pride myself on today and did when I was a player. And that is a scenario that I'm caught in right now. Because if I just keep waiting until until I'm perfectly healed, and even though I shouldn't come back too soon, or if I keep waiting until like I feel perfect, you're never gonna feel good enough to go to the gym. You're never gonna feel like, oh my God, I feel amazing today, I wanna go to the gym. Especially tomorrow, it's gonna suck for me. I'm gonna be so fucking sore. If you're waiting for, like starting a company, if you're constantly waiting for everything to happen, paralysis by analysis, then shit's gonna pass you by. Relationships. If you're waiting for the perfect thing to happen before you can finally fully commit to your girlfriend or your boyfriend, I mean, it's just not there. So to surpass people in this life, whatever you believe, or in this world, you got to just go get it. You just got to get up every single day. Don't make excuses for yourself. Like I was doing, I should have done a podcast weeks ago when I was just sitting here not working out, right? But done making excuses, ready to go, and ready to just continue on this trend, because this shit's not just going to do itself. And so many people, especially in my age range and especially younger, are sitting around here waiting for somebody or something to do something for them so that they can be successful. And I'm here to tell you that nobody's here to save you. So I guess that's that, y'all. I want to come on, let y'all know again where the hell I've been. Painted this wall, so hope you guys like the new studio. And that's that. I guess we'll tune back in a couple weeks. Always follow me on all the channels. Website's The Cody Allen. Handles are always The Cody Allen, unless somebody snagged it from me first, but y'all can find me. So catch you next time.